Welcome back to another episode of Power of Bourbon. And just like last week, we're going to keep with the same distillery and heck, even the same bottle shape. So if
Beam
you
me up,
watched,
Scotty.
yep, if you watched our old grandad 16 review, you might be really upset with us. Oh, well. Tonight, we are going to do the Old Overholt 11 years. So last year they released the 10. This year they released the 11. Maybe next year we'll get a 12 year. Like, let's just keep that trend going. This is an 11-year-old cast strength rye whiskey coming in at 107.4 proof. And it says born in Pennsylvania, but made in Kentucky. So it is distilled and bottled by Jim Beam. Out at Claremont, Kentucky. If you ever get a chance, go out there and visit them. But this is supposedly a very, very good rye whiskey. Now, if you notice, once again, bottle is super low, and that's because we shared this with Patreon, and they all got to see the amazing stuff. It caught us a little by surprise, I think I'm willing to say, in our Patreon blind. So we figured, you know what, we should probably do an honest review of this and let everybody else kind of see what we kind of figured out that night. Should SRP for right about $100. So that's sticking right in there at the $10 a year age statement, which is always good. And yeah, we'll see what we think. Cheers.
Yeah. Seems appropriately priced for 11-year rye.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of other, just trying to think of other comparisons in that age statement. Not a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard. Ryes usually get released a little bit early. Seeing if there was anything super special on the back of the bottle, which there is not.
So going to be a little bit more of a Chuck's rye just because it's a Kentucky rye. So lower rye percent in the mash bill, not one of those MGP 95
fives. Yeah. So definitely get like peanut buttery crust, peanut butter pie on the nose, which is awesome. And there's oak.
A little bit of, I get a little bit of like a nutmeg spice, maybe a few other baking spices.
I mean, this video should come out near Thanksgiving. So this is like your Thanksgiving dessert.
Well, I'd say eat your pumpkin pie or pecan pie and have a glass of Old Overholt.
But yeah, the nose is great. It is a little subdued. It's not up in your face, punchy nose. You're going to sit there and smell it and enjoy it type of thing. It's a little more delicate, but a lot of good notes.
Yeah, I get plenty. There's plenty there for me.
Mm-hmm. And no of those like winter greeny, super rye notes, which is nice.
Yeah, it's lacking some of that herbalness, lacking, let's say, menthol, spearmint that sometimes you can get on ryes, or straw. You know, those types of notes that to me aren't my favorite anyway. So yeah, the nose is a bit deceiving. Yeah, that it's even a rye.
Yes, I think if you, I guess the best we can compare it to, different flavor profile and all that, but is rare breed rye from Turkey, in the sense that it's the same thing. It's a Kentucky rye, so there's not those heavy rye notes coming in. It smells much more like a bourbon.
Yeah, I'd say the strong difference between rare breed rye and this, though, is the oak. Like this is giving you that punch of aged oak, which if you like aged whiskeys, aged bourbons, this is giving you something to look for on that nose.
Yeah, and then on the palate, it is like liquid peanut butter. It's when you first like eat a peanut butter pie, you get all those wonderful peanut butter notes. It coats the palate, very viscous. And there's a little hint of the rye notes, not wintergreen, not hay, just like rye, high rye bourbon, spicy notes, which is really nice.
Yeah, the viscosity there, the texture is fantastic. Like that's
Yeah.
what you want on a cast strength whiskey. Oak, still plenty of oak in that palate. And peanut butter, boy, especially as it leaves, the little bit of that ethanol punch kind of drops away. That peanut butter just kind of lingers there as it transitions into that finish.
Yeah.
Wow. And I don't like, you have to look for those classic rye notes, which for me personally, digging it. Like,
Oh yeah.
don't mind not getting punched in the face with some menthol or
Yeah.
herbal.
Yeah. And then, like you said, on the finish, there is so much oak. It is a drying, deep old oak that you're getting in on that. And then those rye spices kick it up on the finish, and you just get a long lasting finish just in your jawline that is so good.
Yeah, I guess I do get a little bit of those rye notes. To me, they manifest themselves like mid palate, almost like as a little bit of a dash of bright acidity. Like if you were just to squeeze a dash of lemon over a dish, like you get that little bit of citrus, a little bit of brightness, and then it's back to oak.
Yeah.
It's wow.
Mm-hmm.
And then the finish, particularly at 107 proof, that finish is quite lasting.
Yeah.
I'd say it. I mean, in a good way, it drinks. I would have said it was probably even a higher proof, but it's very drinkable. It's not that it's punching you in the face with ethanol. It's just like the flavors lasting, such that to me, I would have guessed that maybe it was a little higher.
Yeah. Yeah. I was going to say, I think even on the palate, I'm getting a little like toasted marshmallow and coconut, which I'm digging too. So
More Thanksgiving theme here. Just your sweet potato pie.
Mm-hmm. There's just so many notes. It's so complex. It is amazing.
I mean, that's might be my favorite rye ever.
I was going to say, it's a good thing you have a bottle, because when we do best whiskeys of the year, since mine is gone, you can enter that in, because this might be the best whiskey of the year.
I'm hesitant to send it, only because I want to keep it for myself. But this was shared to me, so shout out to David, one of our Patreon members, for sharing this bottle with me. On the Patreon Zoom that we did a few weeks ago, I expressed how much I enjoyed this and he said, "Yeah, I can find that," and I haven't seen it here. Haven't had even a chance to buy it, so I'd probably even buy a second bottle of this. I'm sorry, I'm jumping ahead to the review. I'm just like, at $100, this is probably the best value of rye whiskey that I've ever seen. Maybe you could argue Thomas Handy. We could do a blind. It's more oaky, maybe, but boy, yeah, exactly. And for $100, the value, you can't beat this.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I'd buy 3.
Mm-hmm. I mean, there you go. Like that's the review right there. There's the bullet point. Like, I was going to say this is a definite buy, but Chuck's like, this is a buy, a backup, a bunker, buy for Christmas for your friend, but forget that you bought it for them and keep it for yourself type of thing. I think it's absolutely amazing. I do think we have to be fair and caveat it. Like, if you're looking for like a 95.5 MGP rye, this ain't it. This is a Kentucky rye. And I think I'm with you. I think it's the best Kentucky rye I've ever had. So, like, keep it up. Like, this is, again, Jim Beam keeps putting out amazing limited releases.
And I'm going out on a limb. Like, I want to, after our best of bourbon and our best of whiskey this year, like, when this wins best of whiskey and Elijah Craig Barrel Proof Batch B wins best of bourbon, we're gonna put those side by side and say what is the actual best whiskey. And this thing is gonna this is gonna hang. This could be one of my favorite pours of the year. It's probably my most surprising favorite pour of the year. Yeah.
And yeah, I think I'm going to have to go to the distillery and grab myself another bottle because I haven't seen it on the shelves around here, only at the distillery itself. But yeah, no, it is one of those few bottles we can say, well worth the price. Do not hesitate. You're going to love it. End of story.
For us, it's like to taste a whiskey that surprises you that much. Like that still makes this fun.
Yes.
Like, wow. Like this is just fantastic. And it was so unexpected to me.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly because it just said rye.
Yeah, I was going to say, we found a rye that Chuck is excited about. That, if you followed us for the last several years, you should know that alone tells you all you need to know. So, all right.
Wow. Gosh dang it,
Short.
Jim Beam.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's short and sweet. It is a really good bottle. If you find it, pick it up. If you've picked it up, let us know what you think in the comments below, everything like that. And with that, cheers. See you next time.
Stay neat. And I guess drink rye whiskey.